Hey guys, we're here at GenCon 2015 with Isaac Vega, the lead game designer and art director here at Plaid Hat Games, and he is going to tell us all about Ash's Rise of the Phoenixborn, which is something that we are really excited about because it's got a white box and some beautifully colored art on it, which immediately tells us it's awesome. So Isaac, give us a basic rundown of Rise of the Phoenixborn and kind of what you guys are looking to make in this gaming experience.
Awesome. Well, Ash's Rise of the Phoenixborn is a dueling card game, much like in the same realm of Netrunner or Magic the Gathering, in which you take on the role of this unique character called a Phoenixborn. Now, Phoenixborns in this world are like demigods. Think Greek Hercules and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they've actually already saved the world from this horrible chimera race, and it's been about 30 years of peace, but then this prophecy comes out that they have to destroy each other and collect each other's ashes in order to become the one true god. And it's very Highlander-ish, where you're trying to go back and forth and kill your brethren that you fought alongside before long ago, and now you have to fight against them. So it has all this cool, like, dramatic things as far as lore goes, but in the game, what you're doing is that you're fighting against other Phoenixborn, and you're using your powers and things that you have in your deck in order to do so. Now, what makes this game different from other dueling card games is that you get to start with 5 cards of your choice in your hand at the beginning of the game. So you always
Unheard of,
you always get to start off in a position of your choice.
Wow.
So it's like you finally get to, I'm not going to go ahead and have deck draws that are terrible. I'm not going to not have resources. Your resources also start off right out there. You have all 10 of your dice that are ready to you. You roll them at the beginning of the game, and those are your resources throughout the game. They also have powers that you can use instead of using them as resources too. And you can always mitigate what dice you roll by discarding cards from the top of your deck, from your hands, or from your spell board. So you have lots of different options to help mitigate different situations that you get in. What I wanted to create was something that made you feel like you were intense in battle, and what helps do that is the main action, side action system that we have going on. You take one turn, and then your opponent takes one turn, and you go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So it really gets to change up the battle as you are playing throughout the game, because you feel like, okay, he just did this, now I have to do this. Oh, I can't believe that just happened, so now I have to change this. It just makes you feel like you're inside a epic battle that is going back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, so can you run us through like what a turn looks like for this game?
Yeah, in a turn that you can go ahead and play. Usually what you'll be doing is taking a main action, which is this symbol right here, and you also have the option of taking a side action. You'll notice that your dice abilities require a side action as well. So you can go ahead and take a side action before or after your main action. You can do it in any order, and that combination combos create a lot of cool, interesting interactions. So let's say this card was in my hand. I can go ahead and play it down onto my spell board. Okay. You can also play cards on top of other cards that are the same. So let's say this was also saying Summon Silver Snake. You can play it right on top of it, and that is called focusing a spell. Some cards, as you can see, get more powerful as they're focused. So the things that you put on your spell board can get more and more powerful, and you can use them over and over throughout the round. Spellboard cards require activation, so you'll notice this is going to cost you a main action. You're going to have to wait till your next turn to take it again. You'll use a main action, you'll go ahead and place an exhaustion token because that's the cost, and then you'll pay this dice cost right here for these 2 dice, and then you'll do that effect. If it's focused, it's going to make it more powerful and be able to do other things as well. So your spell board is going to, all of your options are going to continue growing and growing throughout the game. You can also play cards out of your hand. There's different types of spells. There's ready spells, there's alteration spells, which alter units. There's action spells that are just one-time big effects that you can do. There's reaction spells that are things that you can play outside of your turn that you can go and react to and get characters with. And then there's characters like Conjurations and Allies. Conjurations come out of a special deck that's to the side. They're going to go ahead and have these black backs here. And whenever you summon them out onto the field, you go ahead and bring them out over here. Okay? They come out of a separate deck. Your normal deck is going to have these card backs. And those are the cards that you're going to have in your hand and stuff like that. So units can be infinite because you can summon multiple. But there is a limit to how many depending on the type of conjuration you have.
Nice.
So you're always oh, go ahead.
When I come into this game, I have a standard kind of like my draw style deck where it's going to sit next to me as I would in a Netrunner or any kind of a card game like that. But then I also have constructed a separate deck of these conjurations.
The conjurations card, and depending on what you put in your main deck, is going to determine what's in your conjuration deck.
Okay, perfect.
So those are the different units you can bring out, and later on, they're not just going to be consisting of units; they might be consisting of other things as well.
Oh man,
Yeah.
how cool is that? So tell me about these dice. What are these? How do we use these? And
Now
what are these symbols?
you're going to have 10 dice that you're going to be rolling at the beginning of the game. You're going to roll them up. And then these symbols are going to be used to pay for these types of different cards that you can put into play. You'll notice that each card is going to have a play cost, and some will have activation cost as well. So in order to pay for this, I'd have to pay a heart, and I'd also have to pay one of these. But you'll notice that symbols can be used as multiple things. They tier down. So a snake symbol can also be used as all of those things that I just paid for, because you're not required. It goes higher as you roll better.
And is that depending on the magic style that you're using?
Yes, this is charms magic. You'll notice that there's different types of magic. There's illusions magic, we have ceremonial magic, and we also have natural magic as well. That are the different types of magic. And we hope to release more dice sets as the game continues to explore different powers and different combinations and things that you can do. And you can build up your set exactly how you want. So you can go ahead and have 2 copies of one type of magic, 3 copies of others. You can have all of the same type of magic. Your 10 dice are determined by you and how you want to combine them.
Wow. Wow. And so what are the colors? This basically correlates to the type of magic that
Right.
dice is. Okay,
Right.
so there's 4 dice colors and 4 types of magic.
Right.
And so if I roll, if this is a natural magic dice and I roll a frog, then I can use as a frog, a leaf, or the
Exactly.
other symbol. Okay. Wow. And so how do I win this game? And what's the point? What's the
You have to destroy the other opponent's Phoenixborn. This is their life value right here. You're going to be fighting against each other. You're going to be doing. There's 2 ways of attacking in this game. You can attack a Phoenixborn, or you can attack a unit. So it allows you to target anybody who you want on the field, which allows you to have tons of different options in the game. And then the defender also can go ahead and choose to throw people in front of them, depending on how which way you're attacking.
And so if I understand this correctly, we have essentially like the main Phoenixborn here.
Yep.
He's going to have a spell board in the background that is all the things that you can cast
Exactly.
in these various spells, and then all of your conjurations up front
Right.
that you can either attack the opponent with, attack their
Right.
units with, or directly attack the Phoenixborn.
Correct.
Right?
And you also have allies too, not just conjurations, which are like human units that you can bring out onto the field as well, and those come out of your main draw pile.
And it seems that there's an exhaustion mechanic happening here.
Yeah, you can go ahead and have units exhausted after they attack or do their. Sometimes actions will require them to be exhausted. Sometimes effect will place multiple exhaustion tokens on them. At the end of each round, you're only allowed to remove 1. But in the case of this dude, he removes all exhaustion tokens.
Endurance, remove all exhaustion.
Yeah.
Of course. Well, man, Isaac, this sounds crazy cool. What would you tell people out there who are this is their first time hearing about Ashes, the first time hearing about even just this style of game? What would you say is like the main draw of this game in front of us?
If you're interested in a quick, cool dueling card game where you're going to be, in which the options in front of you is what's going to determine how you win the game, what options you choose, and the actions that you decide to take. This is going to be the game for you. It has a lot of interesting depth and pieces, and it's like the amount of options and choices that you're going to be able to make throughout a single game of Ashes is going to be very interesting, and it's going to make you feel like you really are one of these powerful Phoenixborns dueling out in order to grab the other person's ashes.
Well, you certainly got my attention, I gotta say.
Thanks, man.
The other thing that I do have to ask about is, this is an expandable card game.
Yes.
And it's designed for 1 versus 1.
Well, you can also play 3 and 4 as well. You can also draft right out of the box as well.
Did you hear that? Okay. Are you going to release expansions of this like you would like a LCG, like the FFG LCG model?
It's going to be very similar to our Summoner Wars packs. We're going to have a new character, ready to go deck right out of the box, but you can use all those cards to start mixing and matching and creating other decks with them as well. We're going to be doing that hopefully every 3 to 4 months, releasing about 2 packs. We want to stay consistent, so people that are in organized play and tournaments are happy and are interested in the new products that are coming out, but we also don't want to overwhelm people. We want to make sure that the buy-in is still at a good price point and that people are excited about the product, and we very much want people to keep bringing other players in the product. And I wanted Ashes to have a very fun community feel.
Right. Well, Isaac, hey, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
This
I
looks
appreciate it.
phenomenal, and we are always so happy to see Plaid Hat expanding as you go, because you guys just keep putting out great games. So,
Thanks.
well done. This has been Isaac Vega, lead game designer and art director here at Plaid Hat Games. We're Team Covenant. We'll see you guys later. So much more coming from the con. This game looks crazy.